in this meeting, we'll be only talking about credit card bill and bank interest using GoalSeek. So Excel is very versatile application that you can use to create data tabular, but also you can use this application to make your life easier, to count your accounting, to count your money balance, to count your payments, to count your bills, and so on. So I have an example here, a case example. As you can see, I have a case where a person called Joanna here. Joanna had used her credit card. Now, I hope that if you have a credit card, you will use it very sparingly, or use it in, let's say, a calculated manner, because credit card can be somewhat give us an incentive to use it, to use the card to buy A, B, C, and before we know it, we are in very much debt to the bank, and we need to pay quite a lot to the bank. But that's just the way it works. Now, our case has this kind of premises. Joanna has used her credit card for $3,500. Now, credit card needs to be paid periodically, usually monthly, and the periodic interest rate is, let's say, 1.9% each month. If you think 1.9% is small, you need to rethink it again, because 1.9% is actually quite big. And Joanna can only pay maximum $500 each month. So this is a typical condition where we use our credit card and then we pay it monthly, but we cannot pay it in full. And if you use your credit card and you cannot pay it in full, then you get a periodic interest rate. So the question is, how many months does Joanna has to pay her debt? How long? And the question number 2 is, how much money actually Joanna has to pay for her debt using the credit card? So by using this simple Excel equation, you can see that I've put periodic interest rate here, 1.9%. And then I put tabular data here, month. This is month starting from 0. It's been the starting of the month where she started to use her credit card. And then column payment, and then the remaining debt and information if we need to put some information. So in the first, in the 0 month, on the first time she used her credit card, of course, she doesn't need to pay yet. The payment is starting next month, on the first month of the payment. So she still have a remaining debt, $3,500. This is the base debt, okay? And from this record, we're going to start to elaborate the payment monthly. So I'm going to put month number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And then in the payment, I'm going to put a static payment of $500 each month. Now, we're going to make the formula. The formula that counts is in here, as you can see here. Now, I'm going to tell you the logic for this formula. So the remaining debt of the first month will be the previous month's, this is the previous month debt added with the interest rate. The interest rate is 1.9%. This is, I put $C$9. This is the interest rate, 1.9%, multiplied with the previous month's remaining debt. B12 is the previous month remaining debt. So we get previous month plus the interest value. This is called interest value. Please wait. I need to prepare my writing kit first. Forgot to turn on my webcam. Okay, start. Okay, now I'm going to write it. Okay, I'm going to write it. This is the previous month debt. This is the interest rate, interest value, which is previous month debt multiplied with interest rate. Okay, and then minus payment. This is payment. So by using this formula, and if you can see that I've put interest rate as static address, which means it will not be changed when I copy the formula. Okay, this means that the remaining debt will be 3,066.5. This is after she paid her first month. Okay, I'll be deleting this first. Delete. Okay. Okay, so using this formula, I can copy it vertically. Let's say to the second month. Okay, it's more lower now, 2,600. And then the third month, and then the fourth month, and so on. We're going to copy it. So we need to prepare the number of rows as we need it into the until the value of remaining debt touch minus. I repeat, we need to copy it until the value of the remaining debt touch minus. Copy vertically until the remaining debt become minus. Okay, there's minus. As you can see here, there's minus 207. So in this month, on the 8th month, we can deduce that on the 8th month, Joanna does not need to pay full. She does not need to pay 500. Okay, it's lower than that. Oh, okay, then I should only put the remaining debt, 286. Let's say if we put only 286 here, 286.95. Oh, it's still remaining debt. What's the matter? This is because there is still the interest value. So on the final month, we will not be using trial and error. In the final month, we'll be using a feature from Excel that's called GoalSeek. We're going to use GoalSeek to count the last payment. So I'm going to put the cursor here on the cell, and then I'm going to use the data ribbon here, and then using what if analysis, there's GoalSeek here. You need to know that GoalSeek can be used if you have a formula. If you do not have a formula, it cannot work properly. So in this cell, we have a formula, and we're going to use GoalSeek. How to use GoalSeek? So we're going to say to Excel, hey, Excel, try to set cell C20, try to set cell C20 to value 0. We want it to be 0 value. Sorry, not set cell C20, set cell D20. I mean D20. D20. D20 is the remaining debt. I want to make the remaining debt to 0. How? By changing the cell of C20. So I'm going to put it like this. Hey, Excel, please try to make cell D20 becomes 0 by changing C20. So by changing the payment value, we're going to try to find how to make the remaining debt 0. When we push OK here, Excel will try to iterate a value that will make the cell D20 becomes 0. Watch, it will be very fast. Okay, now you can see the GoalSeek status says that the goal seeking with cell D20 found a solution with the target value becomes 0. It will automatically change the cell C20 to value 292.403, and the remaining debt will be 0. That is how we're using GoalSeek. Any question for this first example? Any question for this first example? None? Okay. Let's continue then. Now, this itself will not answer the question. The question is how many months Joanna has to pay her debt, and we need to see the month value, first, second, third, and so on. Oh, it's on the 8th month. So Joanna needs to pay the loan in 8th month. And the total value, we need to count it. The total value, we need to count the total payment here, the one that Joanna already pays, including the interest value. So we're going to put a sum here. Sum from C13 to C20. As you can see here, sum from C13 to C20. Okay. And as you can see, the value becomes 3,792, whereas she actually only used 3,500 for buying something with the credit card. And if we want to, we can count the real interest rate. The real interest rate will be C22. C22 will be the sum of payment, the total payment, the 3,700, minus D12. D12 is the real debt. So we got about $270 or something. And then we divided it with the debt, the first debt, D12. Multiply it with 100, and we reach that actually for 8 months of her payment, the number of the percent of interest is 8.3%, and that's a very, very big number. So once again, if you think the credit card interest rate is low, you need to think again, because they're using monthly interest rate, and the real interest rate will be according to how much you pay, how long you pay, and how much you pay. Okay. Okay, until here, do you have any question? None?
No, sir.
Very well. Now, we're going to use the second case. The second case will be like this. David is trying to buy a new motorbike with credit installment. This is very common, okay? Now, the value of the bike is $2,300. If David pays monthly $120, he can only pay it monthly $120, with interest rate 13% annually. See here, 13% annually. And each month, there is an administration fee. So each month, the administration fee shows up for $3. The question is how many months does David has to pay his debt, and how much money does David has to pay his debt, the month and the total money. So we are going to fill this by first putting the periodic interest rate first, because the provided interest rate is annually. We need to divide it by 12, monthly interest rate. So I'm going to put equals 13 divided by 12. Okay. Sorry, this one is, I need to put 13%. 13% divided by 12. Okay. 1.08%. You'll get this value because the format cell is a percentage already. If you have a general, then you'll get 0.01. So you need to change it to format cell. Sorry, change with format cell to percentage. There you go. Now 1.08% monthly. Now the first month, the 0 month, the first time he takes the debt, there is no payment yet, no administration fee, but he have a remaining debt of 2,300. Now we're going to put the payment. He says he can pay monthly 120. So I'm going to put 120 for the first month, and then I copy it for the rest of the month. Okay, next. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of the month. How many months you need to prepare as long as it needed? Maybe 24, 25, 20, maybe 36. We're just going to use the copy-paste mechanism until we find the remaining debt minus it. So the administration fee is $3. So this is $3, and I'm going to copy it. Okay, exactly $3. So this is the formula that we need to put right here. The formula that we're going to put, remaining debt, is, once again, remaining debt will be previous debt, sorry, I'll just put it again. This is equals previous debt plus interest value, not interest rate, but interest value. Okay, there's a difference. This is value, this is rate. Minus payment plus fee. That help me a little here. If I say I want to see the previous debt here. Okay. What cell is the previous debt? Previous debt value. This cell, right? So what should I put here? Equals. Hello, Rico? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what should I put here? The previous debt cell number, cell coordinate. This is the cell. 2,300 is E.
E40.
E.
40.
E. 4.
40.
E40. Okay. This is the previous debt. Okay. I pass it with the interest value. Open parenthesis. How can I count interest value? Interest value is previous debt multiplied with interest rate. So we already know the previous debt. We need to know the interest rate. Interest rate is here. So what should I type here?
I40
E40
dikali
multiplied with
I37.
C37. Okay. Now, because we want to copy the formula and we don't want C37 to change address, we need to lock it, lock the address. Either we type dollars or we use function number 4, F4. I push F4 in my keyboard here, and it will change to $C$37. If you can remember, using dollar in front of the coordinates makes it static. It will not change when you copy it. Close parenthesis. Now, next, I want to minus it with payment. So, minus payment. What is payment? What is the address?
C41.
C41. C41. Okay, that's the payment. And then plus fee. What is the fee? What is the fee? D41. So plus D41. So that's it. That's the previous debt. This is previous debt plus interest value. Interest value is from previous debt multiplied with interest rate minus payment plus V. Okay, now we get 2,207.9166667. If you want to make the number of the comma lower, then we can use this decrease decimal. It's okay. Maybe only 2. Or we want it to be full, it's okay too. Now, until this step, we can find the remaining debt after the first month payment. After the first month payment. Now, we're going to copy this. We're going to copy this. I'm copying it vertically. Let's say until the 10th month. Oh, until the 10th month, he still has 1,332. Until the 20th month, still 255. And then I copy it, and you copy it until you find negative value. So in this example, I already give the value until month 23. I already counted beforehand. But if you have another case, then you need to prepare the number of rows that is needed until the value becomes minus. And on this part, when the value becomes minus, we'll try to use GoalSeek. I'm trying to open the GoalSeek, so I need to open data. Yep, data. And then on the data ribbon, there is what if analysis. Click it, and then we're going to use GoalSeek. Okay, now Excel only asks this question. You want to set what cell into what value by changing what cell? We're going to set E63 to what value? So we're going to put the remaining debt to value to 0. We're going to put 0, number 0 here. By changing what cell? 63. So we're telling Excel, hey, Excel, change the E63, the remaining debt, to become 0 by changing the payment cell, C63. Okay, after I click OK, Excel will calculate it very fast, and it will find 0 value. But you can see the difference here. Before I click it, you see that this payment is still 120. And then when I click it, goal seeking with cell E63 found a solution. Target value becomes 0. Okay, there you go. Now we can find that on the 23rd month, who is it? David. David has to pay only $29.47825. And then his debt is finished. Now let's count the sum of payment. Sum of payment is equals sum from C40 until C63. Okay, C40 until C63. We sum it all, and we found that he needs to pay $2,669, and he only borrowed $2,300 actually. Okay, so the percent of interest will be equals this, the sum of payment, minus the first debt, this 2,300. Okay, and then divided with this once again, E40, and then multiplied with 100 to make it a percentage. Oh, sorry, I don't need to multiply it with 100. Sorry. I need to put parentheses first. There you go. C66 minus E40 inside parentheses divided by E40. There you go. Now 0.16, if I multiply it with a percentage, or I change the cell, become percentage, we get now percent of interest 16%. It's 16.06%. It's very, very big. Okay, that is the second case. Now, I want you to try the third case. Rob is buying his new car with a loan. The value is $21,000. Rob has an agreement with his friend. The rule is like this. If interest rate is 9% annually, okay, and if Rob can pay less than $1,000, there is a penalty of $20. If he pays less than $1,500, there is a penalty of $10. If Rob pays more than $1,500, then there's no penalty fee. And the condition is like this. Rob managed to plan his payment. On the first 3 months of the year, January, February, March, he can pay $1,700 monthly. But on the other months, on the odd months, he can pay only $1,200. And on the even months, he can pay only $950 each month. So he's not paying it on a steady value, but ever changing dynamically. The question is the same. How many months does Rob has to pay his debt, and how much money Rob has to pay his debt? There's the cell here, and I already counted for you. It's actually on the 20th month, but I need you to try it first. Okay? Let's fill the table first. Starting the periodic interest rate. The periodic interest rate is 9% annually. 9% annually means that we're going to divide it with 12. 9 divided with 12 equals 9 divided with 12. Okay. On percentage. Made it. I changed the format cell first. Percentage. Because we need, it's actually, sorry, 9 is not actually 9, but 9% is 0.09. Yeah, that's 0.09. Okay, 0.09 is 9%, or we can put 9% divided by 12. 0.75% each month. This is the interest rate. The interest rate will not change. So we're going to put the payment now. For the payment, Rob can only pay the first 3 months. He can pay $1,700. On the odd and the even, there's changing. So we're going to put the first 3 months first. 1,700. I'm going to put 1,700 for month 1, 2, and 3. And then for the odd and even months, there's a difference here, 1,200 or 950. I'm going to use a formula. Equals if is odd. We're going to check if it's odd number. If it's odd number, I mean, in parentheses, of the month, if it's odd of B95, sorry, not B95. I'm typing it. Oh, yeah, okay. Because if it's odd B95, if it's odd, then the value if true is he can pay 1,200. If it's not, he can pay 950, like that. So this function is odd will return true if B95 is odd value, 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on. It will return false if it's even value. Now, what we're going to do inside the if is just return 1,200 or 950, regarding whether it is odd or it is even. So because this is even, it's 950. And I just need to copy it vertically until the month. And we can see it's alternating 950, 1,200, 950, 1,200, and so on. So that's the payment. Now, let's count the penalty fee. On the case, if Rob pays less than 1,000, the penalty fee is 20. If it's less than 1,500, the penalty fee is 10. If it's more than 1,500, there is no penalty fee. So we're going to check from the bigger value into the lower value. The bigger value is this one, if it pays more than 1,500. Okay, let's just say more than or equal. I'm going to change it a little here. It pays more than or equal. 1,500. Now, equals if payment C92 bigger than equals 1,500, then the value is penalty 0. There is no penalty fee. Else, if the payment is bigger than 1,000, you can see here, if it's between 1,000 and 1,500, the penalty fee is $10. If it's bigger than 1,000 but below than 1,500, then the penalty fee is 10. Else is only if it's lower than 1,000. And if it's lower than 1,000, then the penalty fee is 20. Put 2, closing parenthesis, and we got 0 because 1,700 is more than 1,500. If I copy it here, you can see that if he pays below 1,000, then the penalty fee is 20. But if he pays between 1,000 and 1,500, the penalty fee is only 10. I copy it. So we get alternating payment, we get alternating penalty fee. The next is just the same as the previous example. Remaining debt will be equals previous debt E91 plus, in parentheses, the remaining previous debt multiplied with periodic interest rate, like that, is the interest value, and then negative or minus with the payment C92 and added with the penalty fee B92. Enter. After the first payment, we can see that his debt is 19,457. And I'll just copy it all the way down until I find minus position. The minus position, then we can use GoalSeek again to count the last payment. Data, what if analysis, and then I check GoalSeek. Set cell E111, this cell. Okay, I'm just clicking it. C E1 to value 0 by changing cell, the payment cell. Payment cell is this one, the C111. Okay. Sorry. So this value, oh sorry, I forgot. The cell here needs to be statically value, not formula. Excel don't want to count it if it's a formula. Count it? Okay, done, fine. It's $496 to reach 0. The sum of payment will be equal sum of C91 until C111. It's 22,796. % of interest will be sum of payment, sorry, open parenthesis, sum of payments minus the real debt, 21,000, and then divided with the real debt, 21,000, you can see here, C113. And we get, I'll just change it to format cell, and we get percentage here. You can see it's 8.55%. So the answer will be, who is it? Rob. Rob needs to pay, sorry, not needs, but needs to pay $22,796.02 in 20 months. Now, that's the answer. So, bank interest is a little different. If the first case is credit card bill, and then we are going to use Excel now to count our interest if we put our money on the bank. So I have a case. Billy have a bank account with the current sum of $570. Each month he receives salary of $850. Okay, and then the cost of living each month is $325. The bank interest rate is 2.5% annually, okay, and the car he wants to buy is $11,500. So we have a goal. Billy have a goal to reach $11,500. How many months does Billy have to wait before he can buy the car in cash, not credit, in cash? So we're going to put the interest rate here, 2.5% yearly. Okay, this one is interest in year. We could put it on monthly if you want. The difference is whether you want to divide it by 12 here, or you want to divide it by 12 here. In this example, I'm going to divide it by 12 in the bank balance. So on the month 0, when monthly saving, let's say 0 with bank balance 570, and then month 1, monthly saving $525, and so on, we'll just copy it vertically. The bank balance will be, now, actually the function that needs to be typed is only this. D12, this is the previous balance, adds with interest value, okay, and then plus with saving. Actually only this. So I'm going to retype it. You can see here, I'm going to retype it. This is the previous balance, D12, plus D12 multiplied with $D, $9. $D, $9 is interest rate. Divided by 12. I put the divider here. If you want to use monthly interest rate, then this needs to be divided by 12 first, and you don't need to divide 12 here. Plus the saving, just like this. We have the value, $1,096. But I'm introducing you with a new formula, and it's called round. Round is rounding. So we have 4 digits here, 0.1875, and I only want to see 2 digits. So I'm going to put the function round in front of it. Round of this value, comma, 2. So I'm telling Excel, hey, you round it up until 2 decimal point. So we got 1096.19, like that. Then I'll just copy it vertically, just like that. Okay. So there is no limit of months here, but we have our goal here. So we just need to find the month where the money is equals or bigger than 11,500. And we can see that the value is here, equals or bigger than 11,500. It's on the 21st month. I'm going to put yellow here. There you go. Oh, not yellow, maybe blue. 11,853. So on the end of the 21st month, he can buy the car in cash because he already have enough money, providing that the car value stays stagnant, providing that each month he put saving the exact value and the interest does not change. In the actual condition, you need to know that the interest rate is varying from month to month. So the exact value of the end of the 21st month will be different. That's the example. I'm going to teach you another case, and the last case will be for you to finish by yourself. So this is the case. Brand has a bank account with the current sum of 320. Each month he receives salary of 550. He have a cost of living 275. Every year he must pay rent and etc. 580. And the bank interest rate is 1.25% annually. He wants to buy a motorbike that costs 2,500. The question is, how many months does Brand have to wait before he can buy the bike in cash? The interest we're going to put here, we'll just put interest rate annually. Okay. Interest rate annually, it's 1.25%. I'm going to divide it here. And then I'm going to put each month he receives salary of 550. Oh, sorry. Brand bank account current sum 320. We'll put 320 first here. 320. Monthly saving equals the salary that he received, 550. 550 minus the living cost, 275. Okay. And then let's say that every year he must pay rent for 580. So we're going to put it on the first month. Minus again. If month, sorry. If modulus of month divided by 12 is 1, then it's $580. If not, it's 0. Which means that for each month of January, modulus is the modulus value. So let me example. If I have 1 modulus 1, it will equal 1. Let me put 2. Okay, 1 modulus 2. If 2 modulus 2 equals 0. If 2 modulus 3, 3 modulus 2 equals 1. So bahasa Indonesianya sisa bagi, not the value of the divided itself. 4 modulus 2 is 0. So if I'm putting modulus of 12, it's mean 1 modulus of 12 is 1. 1 modulus of 2 modulus of 12 is still 2, and so on until it's 12 modulus 12 is 0. 13 modulus 12 is 1. So for 1, 13, and then 25, it will return 1. So if it's equal 1, the first month, the January, then we're going to put the rent fee for 580. That is the way it counts. So I'm going to enter this. Sorry, enter this. Wait, oh, I forgot another closing parenthesis. Just one parenthesis here. As parenthesis. Okay, so he goes to debt in the first monthly saving. Okay, he takes the money from the bank. It's minus 305. He cannot have saving in the first January. And we'll count the bank balance. The bank balance is equals the previous bank balance plus the interest rate. Okay, previous bank balance D51 multiplied with interest rate, but divided by 12 because this is still yearly. Okay, and then plus the monthly saving. It's C52. Let me type it here. It's previous balance. This is previous interest value. And this is the monthly saving. So because this is minus 305, actually on this first January, he will lose money from the bank. So the bank balance will only left $15. Okay, so poor item. But let's just copy it vertically, and we can see that I need to put the value here. Okay, and I'll just copy it first, and we'll see on the end of the 11th month. Oh, sorry, I forgot to lock this. It needs to be locked. The interest rate needs to be locked. Okay, you have 2,778 in the 11th month. He wants to buy the bike 2,500. So actually, you don't need to take a year. In this one, he already can buy the bike because he already have 2,500.81. Now, the answer is on the 10th month, he can buy the bike in cash, like that. So that's it for today's meeting. I want you to try the last case. Angela had bank account. and you have to pay rent and so on. But every 2 months you have to pay for therapy, 150. So the question is a little different. How much money she will have in the end of the 3rd year? The end of 3rd year means the 36th month. So you need to count the 36th month.
That's it for now. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video.